Hello there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery doing a little bit different type of review tonight. At the ICCE show here in Fort Worth about a week and a half ago, I had the opportunity to meet the owner and designer of Arcane Design Company. His name is Israel, last name Bacchus, and he is definitely an up-and-comer in the knife making, knife designing community. He's come out with two models currently and a third one to be released very soon. Right here are the first two that have already been released. This is the antimatter, and the other one over here is the Necronaut. So his designs are coming from a background of sci-fi, classic horror, and mystery, and he really wanted to come up with things that were inspired by those areas. Now, the antimatter, which is the double-edged dagger, is in collaboration with Something Obscene company. They are definitely another of the very hot, new to the market companies that are doing really well right now. Let's see. Their little logo, just so you got it. This is the antimatter case, is the fist with their lightning bolt. So that's just to show you Something Obscene Company's logo that is in collaboration on the antimatters. Definitely very nicely designed knives, and of course they have been executed or actually created, built by Riot knives. So you know you're getting the Riot quality that has been applied to these new designs by Arcane. So I'll go ahead and go through each of these. I was very excited to talk to him. Israel was very easy to talk to, very down to earth, really had some good ideas, and has definite ideas on where he's going to take his company and what he plans to do. As I looked at these, the Necronaut definitely caught my eye. I'm into the kind of angular Tonto type knives, so that caught my eye. He showed me that one the first time I saw him. The next trip around, when I was over at the Riot table, he then pulled out the antimatters, and I tell you what, that is the one that kind of sealed it for me. The antimatter, I'll go ahead and go into the specs on this one. Blade length on this one is 3.5 inches. Closed length is 4.5 inches. Overall length is 8 inches. Blade thickness is 0.16 inch. Handle thickness 0.52 inch. And overall weight on this one is 5.4 ounces. The blade steel is M390. He does also have a Damas steel Damascus version. And of course, the handle's going to be the 6AL4V titanium. Of course, everything's got to be titanium because, you know us, there's no way we're going to post these things for sale looking like this. We've got to go ahead and revamp them and give them a little extra style. So the blade on this is very clearly a dagger blade, and as I start handling these in a minute, you will see very quickly that this is not a knife for an inexperienced knife owner. This is a double-edged dagger. Both sides are extremely sharp, so you need to be very careful while using this knife, but this is not something that I would recommend for a novice. I've been playing with them for a little bit, and just takes a little bit of time to get used to letting the blade drop into the handle with the weight of the blade, but definitely something that you need to be careful with. Very cool design, really liked it, and it's definitely what kind of got me interested and kept going with the conversation to see if I could become a dealer and start working on some of his stuff. So let's go ahead and take a real quick look at the zipper case. Very nice case that these knives are coming in. That nice black and blue with the zipper. Foam lining. And you can see this is the Necronaut's cutout, so it sits right in there and it's good to go. You can see that they probably had, actually I know they had, on his original run, he said he had made up some little metal placards that had the information about the knife and that type of thing, but they are not present on these knives. So that is one thing that I would say, whoops, is a little bit of a miss on this one, is he's got this really nice case, but on the ones that I received, they did not have any company information, knife information, any of that kind of stuff, certificate of authenticity, any of that stuff that you might expect to come with a knife. So while the case is very nice, much better than many of the cases that are coming on the knives, I would definitely suggest that he adds the information to each knife that he puts into production and gets out there into the retail world. But very minor, like I said, really nice quality zipper case, much better than a lot of the cases that you see out there these days. Let's go ahead and take a look at the antimatters first, since I did already go through the specs. Start with that blade, because that is what this one is all about. This one is the black DLC coated. It does look like it has a slight stone wash to the DLC. So you can see a little bit there, which will be nice because it'll help hide those nicks and bumps as you start using it. Both sides have that blood groove going in it, and there is no name or branding anywhere on the blade, so it definitely leaves you with a nice clean blade without all the extra markings and that type of thing. This one does have his logo along with the other co-designer on this one. That is pretty much all you see on this knife. So you have that M390 blade, frame lock, nice early lockup on it, and like I said, as you get used to this knife, you're going to close it pretty much just like that. I've been playing with this one constantly since I picked them up, and it doesn't take much to let that blade fall in there. Now as you grab it, the easiest way to take a look and know which side to flip from is you've got that back spacer. Of course, that's going to be the side that you're going to flip from, because the back spacer tells you that that's the back. Feels pretty good in the hand. No hot spots. The pocket clip kind of folds right in nicely. And this is a little awkward with the camera in front of me, but like I said, as you get used to playing with that, you can get it to close very safely without touching it. Now I've watched a couple other people, they use that portion and close it down like that. You could do that, but I think most people, as they start playing with it, are just going to let that blade fall right into the handle. That kind of is I've shown here. Flipping action is very nice. It's got a nice solid detent, which allows it to pop into place very securely and with a nice sound of authority. Again, you have that space age look to it. That's looking like some kind of space tower or something like that that's been kind of carved into the pocket clip. It is a full titanium pocket clip, and as you can see, there's no screw on this side, so it's screwed in from the back, which shows you that you have one screw, the pivot, and the steel lock bar insert screw being visible on that side, and then only the pivot and this one in the back on this side. So this one is a heavy black, yeah, I would say that's a black kind of DLC that's been stone washed. And then he has a titanium top piece. I guess you could technically call it a pivot collar because the pivot is sitting in there, and that's been done in bronze. So definitely going to be some different stuff that I can do with this model. It's going to be interesting to see how these buff out and that type of thing. I'm really excited. I want to get working on these as soon as possible, but I've got a little bit of a backlog of stuff going on, so it's going to be just a little bit. These are my first 3 knives that I've picked up, and like I said, this double-edged is very nice. It does, the blade fits securely down in there. I mean, I'm pressing along this, and you definitely don't come in any contact with the blade, so you don't have any issue there. Trying to give you an idea. It's a little ways down in, so there's not much chance of you hurting yourself along the back edge of this blade, but you definitely would never want to put your thumb directly on the back. Now, another way you could definitely go about closing this is starting it off and then using your thumb in that fuller or that blood groove to get it going down. That would work just fine. Can't quite flip it all the way down in, but that would be another way. Again, you can use that flipper tab, but in my opinion, let the blade do the gravity thing, and that way you're not touching it in any way, shape, or form. So again, I definitely only recommend this for an experienced knife owner. This needs to be in the hands of somebody that is very familiar with playing with knives and is not taking any chances as far as closing this thing unsafely, because if you use your thumb on the back side of that edge, it is sharp, and you're going to cut the living no, you're going to cut yourself badly if you do this incorrectly. So Sharp by Design is the only other knife company that I can think of off the top of my head that has done this double-edged sharpen deal. Of course, Riot did the collaboration with Tashi Baruka on the T4000, but that is a false top edge, and that does stick out of the handle, so you never would want to see that one double-edged for any reason. So this one is his bronze anodizing with the black DLC on the pivot collar, and then of course that black DLC on the blade. So like I said, I was really excited about this one. See? Okay, well, I did have it the right way in my hand, but it's got a good detint on it. There's no problem of that thing falling out or anything like that in your pocket. There's enough pressure on that detent that it is not going to open in your pocket and give you that cut hazard, that type of thing. So that definitely was a smart call on the design, that it has a strong enough detent that there's no way even flipping it down like this, pushing on it, you do need to be intent on opening that. Not that it hurts my finger or anything. It could after a whole day of flipping, but it doesn't hurt your finger, but it's definitely firm enough that that's not going to pop open in your pocket or anything like that. So that is the antimatter. And here is the Necronaut. So again, very space agey type of name. He has got this, he is calling it an American Tonto. It is flat ground on both edges and has a nice swedge up at the top. Very nice profile and some real nice jimping. Really, it fits nicely in the hand. No hot spot with that pocket clip. It tucks right in, and it really does fit very nicely in your hand. And that jimping is very aggressive, so it gives you nice purchase. It is kind of a blocked off flipper tab on this one. And he was telling me that his different releases were done with different colors. These are aluminum inserts or pivot collars on this particular release of this knife. So I won't be doing anything with the aluminum. Not sure quite yet how I'm going to finish this handle up though. Part of me says, oh yes, it needs a blue with a red. And then maybe just a real nice buffed out titanium backspacer and pocket clip to give almost that red, white, and blue effect. But at the same time, I'm just not sure exactly where I'm going on it yet. The lockup is nice and early. Centering's right on the money. So everything you'd expect from the Riot manufacturing flips very nicely. This one again, actually the blade on this one falls into the handle even better than the other one. A little bit more weight on that blade because you've got that thicker backside where the other's double-edged, a lot less steel in it. Here is his little space monkey Necronaut, sorry, on this side, and then that is his logo for Arcane Design. Again, the pocket clip on this side, screw is on the inside. On this side you only have the pivot collar, the pivot screw showing, and then on this side you don't have the trucks cut out, but you do have the two, probably Trox number 8 screws holding that backspacer in. So let's go ahead and give you the specs on this one because I kind of got ahead of myself. Go ahead and zoom that in while I run through overall specs on the Necronaut. So its blade length is 3.5 inches, closed length is 4.5 inches, overall length is 8 inches, blade thickness is 0.16 inch, handle thickness is 0.52 inches, and overall weight on this one comes in at 4.8 ounces. It is another M390 steel blade with the titanium and aluminum handle. And like I said, the blade style, he's calling this an American Tonto with a flat grind. And it does have your standard Riot caged bearings on it, as well as the titanium sculpted pocket clip. So definitely everything that you would expect from Riot manufacturing as far as the quality of the build of these knives. Like I said, definitely very happy to see a new designer out here putting some new stuff out on the market. He does have another model that is just getting ready to release. I know he's got it up on his website already. I cannot think of the name of it, unfortunately, off the top of my head. But I do have these two models in stock. Like I said, I will be doing some work on these as soon as I get the time to. Was expecting to work on them last weekend, but got tired of all the dust from all the heavy buffing that I do. My shop was just filled with it. I was using fans with air filters on them to cut down on it, and I finally just got tired of it, pulled the trigger, and put a nice sawdust collection system, built a cage around my buffer, and now all of that is being run into a cyclone system, and really cleaning up the overall feel of the shop. So hopefully I don't have to wear quite as much heavy duty equipment as far as breathing while I'm buffing and that type of thing. So that was a little bit of setback on the timeline, but made a big difference in the quality of my work environment in the workshop. So very happy to have that done. I did kind of custom design it myself, so it took a little bit of time. I think I threw a quick picture of it up on the story partway through the build, but that is done. So I do expect over the next couple nights to start moving some more knives out. I do have a number of Liang Ma's, some new Riots, and a number of ZTs, as well as these great new Arcane Design knives. So thank you for tuning in for the video. I really hope that you guys are kind of intrigued by Israel's new designs. Definitely they will be posted on the website as soon as I get these finished up and ready to go. So keep an eye out. We are at www.jdcutlery.com. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully these will look 100% different by the time this is posted again. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.